Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Kathy Cronin, and I would like to introduce you to the lovely panel that's joining me. We have Linda Baker and Carrie Downy and Reverend Linda. And I will lead the topic, but before I do, let's take a moment to get centered and focus and being present in this moment to allow ourselves to be open to divine guidance and wisdom. So if it helps to close your eyes, to close out the distractions around you, firmly plant your feet on the ground so that you feel that you're anchored into yourself. And then just focus on your breathing. Breathe in slowly, deep breaths. Hold it for a moment and then release that breath. As you do, you feel your body relaxing and dissipating any tension and things. Clear the thoughts from your mind with each breath and let the Spirit of God come within your heart and soul. Dear God, we call upon you today to be with us, to guide us, to lead us in those topics of interest, to sharing those moments that are enlightening to our hearts, our souls, our minds, and for the people that join us, whether you're present on the panel or who watches on the tapings. We ask your blessings on them, that whatever they may be going through, we know you are guiding them daily through their life. Amen. So today I'm using a topic taken from a Unity booklet, and it's called the Turn on the Light. And it's basically some of the writings of Eric Butterworth. And the topic I'm doing today is the mystery of God in man. And this is an excerpt from Eric Butterworth's book, Celebrate Yourself. So I'm going to read what was written because it's very short, and it covers the points of topic. Within every person is the unborn possibility of limitless growth, and ours is the privilege of giving birth to it. Paul obviously had this in mind when he referred to the mystery hidden for ages and generations, which is Christ in you, the hope of glory. And this comes from Colossians 1, chapter 26, verse 27. We all have a long way to go, but Jesus demonstrated a goal that is believable and achievable. And he pointed to that in us, which is perfectible. Dwell for a while on the idea of the universe as the allness that we call God, realizing that everything within it, from the vast galaxies to the subatomic particles, is created in and of the universe. You may wonder about the vastness of the universe and peer at it through a telescope. However, you are not on the outside looking in. You are on the inside looking out. You are the universe at the point where you are. Attributed to St. Augustine is this profound thought. God is a circle whose center is everywhere and whose circumference is nowhere. If the center is everywhere, it is where you are. You are the center of the universe, the center of God. This is not a point to be made egotistically, but transcendentally. There is that of you which is centered in God, and which is a point of God activity flowing forth into expressions as you. And the circumference is limitless. There is no limit to God or to man in God's consciousness. God is not in you like a raisin is in a roll, but like the ocean is in a wave. The wave is nothing more, not less than the ocean formed into the shape of a wave. And you are nothing more nor less than God expressing as you. Man is not an individual in God, for that would presuppose isolation and separation. Man is an individualization of God. God in each of us is the allness of which we are an eachness, and the constant need in our life is to unfold more of our allness in a process of conscious evolution. It is not trying to get into God or to get God into us. It is to be still and know that I am God. And this comes from Psalms 46:10. We all have a long way to go, but Jesus demonstrated a goal that is believable and achievable. And he pointed to that in us, which is perfectible. Whenever we are along the way, no matter what the problems or challenges, there is always more in us, the Christ in us as our hope of glory, which means our potential for healing, overcoming, prospering, and succeeding. And, and there is no limit. I find this a point in my life right now that helps me open up to see that when I see that the center and the core of my being is the God presence, it helps me to step back at times and go, am I being godly? Am I acting the way that is loving, kind, and caring? And I found in reading this, it really pointed to the fact is like it is achievable to recognize that in every step and every person you interact with, the Christ in you is who you put forth. And if I put forth the Christ in me, there's a much more loving, wholesome, meaningful connection. And I feel that I am walking that path that Jesus did, nowhere near being as perfect as Jesus is, but it helps that each little step, if I can remember to put Christ first, the Christ within me first, that when I meet that stranger on the street, to see the Christ in them first and not the ragged clothes or the disheveled appearance or the attitude that they may be coming across. It's just to breathe in the essence of pure love and bring the Christ forth within me. So it's a lot of work, and I know it's something to strive for, and that if I can sometimes just step back and go, what would God do? What would Jesus do in this situation? And then speak, then come from the kind, loving Christ self, then, blurting out my opinions or my judgments or my thoughts on something, but just to step back and just be present and allowing that to. And as I read some part of it, it's like where it says that the center of everything, I always remember that, you can't be something to everybody, but to somebody you are, one person, you can make a difference in their life. So just being present in this moment is what I want to share. So I'm going to put out to the panel and ask you about your feelings that with the opening statement, within every person is the unborn possibility of limitless growth, and ours is the privilege of giving birth to it. How will you give birth to your limitless growth? Who would like to share first? Yes, Linda.
It reminds me of Mother Teresa. She was one of her famous quotes is because of her understanding of people, working with them. And the statement that she made was that the worst disease a person can have is to be nothing to anybody. And I heard that many years ago, and I've carried it in my heart ever since. And it just mirrors what you're saying. When I see somebody, I think about what she said, especially an old person, because the older they get, the more they start to feel like they're nothing to anybody. Nobody needs them for anything. And it's the old people I meet on the street here that they just want to stop and talk to a stranger. and to be able to spend that time with them and to just let a stranger talk to you. It is heartwarming, and it makes me feel like I'm walking in the right direction, that I'm trying to help somebody in my own simple way. And I like being reminded of what Mother Teresa had to say, regardless of who says it another way. It's nice to look at it from everybody's angle, but I think basically the core of myself, that's where it takes me to. Thank you for taking me there, Kathy, and what you had to say.
Thank you, Linda. Who would like to share next? Karen?
Sure. Thank you for that topic. What a couple of things came to mind. God, many years ago, and I'm not a reader, I'm more of a listen to uh, audible or watching something. Connecting the person with what they're saying works really well for me. But the book was The Kingdom of God is Within. And I think it was by Morton Kelsey, either Morton Kelsey or John Sanford, but the two of them were quite a team. And at the time, I know I was going through major depression. And they talked about the dark night of the soul and going through something to get someplace else is the short version. And with what you said, it's like the older I get, I appreciate knowing it's a journey that I'm not going to arrive at, but about becoming my authentic self, which is that what you're talking about being present, in the now, which that really takes work. I especially notice things like that I'm not in the now if I have to get on the elevator in my building. And the door opens and it's like a shock because my mind is someplace else. Or getting on the elevator and not pushing the button because I'm busy up here, not being in the present. And it's like, well, why isn't this thing moving? Oh, I forgot to press the button. And I think in relationship to what you were reading, what came to mind more is in keeping my mouth shut instead of offering my opinion on something, which is it's hard to do. And then I don't have to backtrack uh, and make an amend for what I may have said. And I don't know. I have my birthday this month and I turned 80 and I was very depressed that day. I did the things I had to do, but it's like, well, how did this happen to me? You know, this is not fun. And I really missed my friends in California, mostly the ones that were always younger than me and would call and say, okay, I'm going here and I'm going to pick you up. And I don't have that here in Pueblo. So I had to feel sorry for myself for a while. But I don't feel, and then I got over it and decided that I would call my son, who also had a birthday this month, and a new grandson-in-law. It's like, okay, I'm going to buy pizza, and there's three of us that had a birthday. Let's get together. Will you make the salad and stuff? And so we did get together, and it was very good. It was just good. But I could have stayed in my crap um, much longer had I not gone, you know what? And I'm not done. I mean, I might be old, but I feel like, I mean, they were having a conversation on being too old to get a job for something. And this was coming from a 30-year-old. And I'm going, well, I never thought about that. See, I think I could go out and get a job now. I mean, I've started several new things. It, you just go do it. So I don't know. And Linda, you talked about earlier the energy, something going on with the energy, and maybe before we got on, but I'm really aware that the energy, the universal energy, is changing. Everything is changing. And so I have to be open to what's my next step. And I don't know that I'm the one that decides it. It's kind of like when the student's ready, a teacher appears, or vice versa. And whether it's from a Greg Braden or a Mother Teresa or Butterworth, it's like something kind of just pops out. And I have the choice. And the kingdom is all around me. It's in me. It's the air we breathe. We're all one. And I am trying to focus on the unity and not separation and being a part of, okay, what's next? So thank you, Kathy, and thanks, Linda, for sharing Mother Teresa.
I will comment. I absolutely and for sure. I always really liked the imagery that Butterworth used in that writing of the wave being the ocean. That it wasn't the entire ocean, but everything in the wave was ocean, and how that plays with us and reminding us that we are divine, that God is everything that we are. And it's so easy to forget that, to turn our backs on that. The reminder that we are divine. When I get up and go out into the world, often I will do my car prayer because I always pray first time I get in the car, just to remember that God is, and to go with God. But I try and make the conscious decision to go forth and bring more divinity into the world, to go out and be God in the world, to go out and be love, to go out and be acceptance and understanding. And when I take that on as a mantle, that I'm going to wear, I'm going to go out and be love. I'm going to go out and be patience. I'm going to go out there and be understanding. It really changes my experience in the world. So often we get exactly what we think we're going to get. When I go to a meeting that I know is going to be so boring, and I can't believe I got sucked into going to this meeting again, I sit there and I'm bored no matter what's going on. That was my expectation. That was my perception, and that's what I manifest. But when I go to that same meeting with the intention of being love or being empathy or being understanding, it changes my entire experience. And perhaps it brings more into the energy of the meeting than would have been if I came with the intention of being bored. I love Butterworth and I love his teachings, but I really think it's important that we embrace the mystery of God that lives within all of us. So thank you, Kathy. That's all I've got.
Well, thank you, Reverend Linda and Karen and Linda, for your comments and your thoughts on this. Does anybody have anything else they want to add? Well, we appreciate those who have joined us today. We welcome you all the time. And we'd love to have you on our panel and share your thoughts or your just even having conversation. You don't have to bring the subject. You can just be a part of the tabletop conversation and just share your thoughts like each of us do on the topic we're discussing. And we also look forward to your comments, any feedback you want to give us, and any of your thoughts or how this topic helped you see something different in your life. And, did it birth something in you for where you could see the, God within you, that God and man work simultaneously. So we welcome everyone. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, then you'll get the notifications. And if you want to know how to join us after we sign off, there's a little blurb on how to reach out to the church, and they will pass the message on to us to include you in our topics of discussion. So thank you for being here with us today. And just remember that the mystery of God walks in each and every one of us. And have a blessed day. Bye, everybody.
Thank you for joining us, and let's stay connected and grow in spirit. We are on Facebook. Search for Unity Church of El Cajon and follow us and like our posts. You can reach us on YouTube at Unity Church of El Cajon. Please subscribe to our channel, watch our videos, and leave comments which can help us improve. We are on the web at unityofelcajon.org. Email or call our church office to receive our weekly newsletters, which lists all of our activities and opportunities to learn and grow together.